We have a design here that calls for some brick paving. Let me just pan across. We're going to join some existing red brick paving with some new, so the new paving will flow through here. There'll be a row of header bricks on either side, and as we move through an area where there's a fireplace, we go past a zone where there'll be some steps down, and then in this area through here some raised garden beds. So what we want to do is show some details of how the construction of those elements will be done. So if we zoom extents, what the designer here has done is put details of various parts of that brick pathway and steps. So here's the detail for the step area. The intention is to pave this area at 1 to 20, and if I come over here, here's the detail of the planter beds showing an ag pipe as a drainage channel in the bottom of the raised beds and so on. Here's some more detail for how the paving's to be done, and there'll be some saw cut pavers for tighter curves. So let's zoom extents again. So the plant schedule's been put well away from the major design as the details. So if we click on the details sheet, what I've done is set 3 floating viewports. And I've got the frame in a purple or magenta colour so that you can see the frame details. So if I select that one, the intention is to plot it at a view scale of 1 to 20. So I can type 20 in that box, and then I can fix that scale. So let me just illustrate by diving in here, and I'll make the box a little larger so that I can wrap around and get all the detail. Then I'll display on the layout and deactivate it. And if I set it again, because we've changed the size of that box, you see the view scale is 26. We want that to be 20. So we hit enter. You'll notice that things don't fit. Let's zoom out a little. We can pump up the size of that floating viewport and move it down a little, and now everything fits in the box with the exception of the bottom of that circle. Now things fit, and at that point we could, if we needed to, pick the bottom of these and set our scale of 20, which it is, but we could do some fine adjustment if we needed to and move that one down a little to clear some space. You can see that in that case we run into the problem of we're off the bottom of the page. So you might experiment by fixing all of these so you don't have to go through that again. So that one's got a fixed scale, yes, of 20. This one's fixed at 20. And now all 3 we can just pick them and move them around again. This one we're going to need the whole of the side space there. This one can be moved fairly easily, I think, to that point there, and then you would see whether we've got enough space for that one there, and I think everything looks fine. Now you may notice in this zone here it doesn't quite show, but we can easily adjust like so, and then dive in again and move that there so that all takes place. Let's display it on the layout and deactivate it. Now when we take each frame, which now shows 1 to 20, and turn the colour of that into 255, 2455, now we've got all the details on the sheet at a scale of 1 to 20 and laid out in a reasonable fashion. So it takes a little bit of fiddling, if you like, to get detail scales looking the way you want. So that sheet, it's an A3 sheet, can be plotted now, and each of those floating viewports is at a scale of 1 to 20.